So, Adam Schefter on Pat McAfee's show today gave us a little bit of an update. And that update is very positive on Trey Hendrickson. The deal is done. They're just worrying about guarantees. Now, of course, we kind of knew about this concept for the last week or so, that yes, the biggest issue is the guaranteed money. Everything else is already figured out for the most part. But it's nice to see it now confirmed. Yes, the deal is done. The amount of years is already done with. The money per year is already done with. Everything is done but the guaranteed money. So we're pretty much just sitting there right about to cross the finish line, and we just pop the squat. Is that a word? Is that a saying? Pulled up the lawn chair, cracked a beer, and sat back and enjoyed ourselves. That's pretty much what we're doing. We're at the finish line and saying, let's just take a break. Which is annoying. So the whole problem is the Bengals do not want to give more than 1 year guaranteed of Trey's contract. Rumor right now is he either wants 2 of the 3 years guaranteed or all 3 years guaranteed. There's different reports, different rumors, whatever. But for what we know, 1 year is what the Bengals are offering. And outside of Jamar Chase and Joe Burrow, they have never done that. They don't give any full more than 1 year guaranteed contracts. So Trey wants more than 1 year, and the Bengals are like, no, we don't do that. We're sorry, but we don't do that. Which is so frustrating. It is frustrating. Because you're so dang close to having the best offseason of all time, where you can have a full training camp of Trey Hendrickson and Shamar Stewart. A full preseason of Shamar Stewart and Trey Hendrickson. Get into the season. Be ready to go. No setbacks. No issues. No slow start. Because you already have your guys figured out. And really, what is holding us back is just, we don't want to give them 2 years guaranteed. You already figured out the money per year and the length. You agreed on that. Just get past the finish line. Why stop now? At this point, you're so dang close. There's no reason to stop now and go, we just aren't there. You're so close. Just get it done. This is frustrating. This is frustrating as all living heck. Because we're so close. So, let me read this quote. The deal is in place, but is a disagreement over the guaranteed money in the deal. And it's a big disagreement so far. Now maybe the two sides can figure out a way to bridge their differences, but the Bengals typically have not guaranteed full deals. They did it with Joe Burrow. They did it essentially with Jamar Chase. They're not willing to do it with Trey Hendrickson. So it's up to the two sides to figure out what is the proper guarantee. They could agree on the years. They could agree on the average. None of those are issues right now. The whole issue is, the whole hang-up, and the reason Trey is in Florida is over guaranteed money. Which, again, is just so dang frustrating. Because it's you're so close. You're so close to getting that done. Now, based on what we also understand from this, we said this on the show, was that this is more than $10 million dollars apart. So it's not like this is a couple million that they're going back and forth on. This is way more than that. This is way more than $10 million. So this is a lot of money that is guaranteed, not guaranteed because of that. Which I feel like you could do incentive-based stuff, right? You could say if we got to a Super Bowl, if you get a certain amount of sacks, I feel like there's ways around it where you're not 100% fully guaranteeing his contract, but maybe you're virtually guaranteeing his contract. And that's, again, the virtual guarantees always get people excited because those are always interesting to look into. I think Lamar Jackson had a virtually guaranteed to a certain amount of money. And pretty much what it means is hey, listen, if you're on the roster as of this date, then you get this part of the guaranteed of your contract. And there's other stipulations they can put in there too, but that's like a very baseline example of it. It's virtually guaranteed. So, man, this is frustrating. And again, like at the end of the day, whether you think I know I get some comments. Some people say we shouldn't pay Trey, we shouldn't give in to Trey, and other people say we should, right? Whatever side of the fence you're on, right? Whether you think Trey should honor his contract and not get paid, or people would think that he should get paid all the money in the world, whatever. It's just it costs more in all this crap with distractions, taking away him from training camp, not playing, causing this defense not to be prepared enough to get ready for the season because they're worrying about this whole back and forth. It costs more. You're losing more money overall wise than you would be just paying Trey. Like, it costs more with all these distractions and all these problems. You're losing more than you would be just paying Trey and getting it over with. That's kind of how I've always looked at it, and I'm going to always look at it. Because it's like, at the end of the day, it costs you more to go through this crap. So, I'm just frustrated. Continuing into the thing here, it depends who you're asking, but I would say anywhere between 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 million. Let's put it in the multiple millions apart in guaranteed money. So, yeah. Just kind of what I was talking about earlier with it being more, most likely more than 10 million. Just get it done. Just get it done. That's all I gotta say. Just get it done. Because we need him here. Now, shout out to James for writing this article. James of Cincinnati Bengals Talk. Absolute legend. As always, love him. But I'll see you guys next one. Peace out.